Oh, hi, I'm Bruce Sauter with Workbench 2.0, and you're just in time. We're on our way over to Chris's. Chris has been testing out one of our prototypes for our craft work center, and we're going to go over and talk with her about it. And so follow us on over. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks. Bye. Chris, we're here.
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah, I brought a couple people with us.
Hey, not a problem.
Hey, I really want to thank you for setting up your studio as it was when we first met, because we want to kind of give a transition between the old and the new. But I hear you work with Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator.
Yeah, I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 2 years right now. Someone I knew had been doing it and she retired, so I decided to take over because I love stamping and I wanted the discount. And the only problem I've run into, though, is I live in a very small house with a very small space, and my Stampin' Up! Has been jury-rigged, and I have to cram everything into a small space, which hampers my creativity. And I just don't know what to do with that, and then along came you.
Oh, yeah, and I want to thank you. You've been, we're in the process of doing prototype work for a new design for our Craft Work Center, and really want to thank you for taking the last month and working with it and giving me all the feedback, both positive and negative, and it's really been helpful. As far as this represents the older space you had. Did you have any problems with it as you look at the new table? Is there some issues with this that you saw right away?
It's hard to work with the round surface because, as you see, things tend to get piled up on it because it's there. But then when I'm trying to work, I can't find the things that I want to work with. And this is not a solid surface. It shakes. Things slide off, and I have problems with avalanches. I can't find where I set down my utensils that I need. If I needed my bone folder, half the time it's buried somewhere in the back. And I can't spread out if I'm doing scrapbooking because I have other stuff on the table.
It sounds like that's probably what happens on even rectangle tables as well, you know, as far as only ending up with just a small space to work on. And you have all this other stuff piled up all the way around the table. I know I see that at home too.
It is true. The further away I have to reach for something, the harder it is to use it.
Yeah,
so
right.
a smaller space that is laid out a little bit more is a little bit better. And if I'm working on prototypes for something, I lose track of what's where because, you know, after a while I put one over here and then I put one over here and I can't remember what I was going to put where. You know,
so
and after a while, something I forgot about is over there.
So there's like a whole workflow organization kind of thing that you do with the tools that you use, the paper, and all the other things that you do. You want to kind of organize it and keep it organized so there's kind of a flow to what you do.
I do.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's great. Why don't we take a little moment here, take a break, and we'll move the old table out and we'll put in the new one and we can talk about that, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay. Wow, Chris, it looks like you have a lot more room than you had before with the old table.
Isn't it fabulous? I have a ton more space and it feels so open, flows creativity. Everybody who's come, even when they've seen it before, keeps saying, I cannot believe how great that looks.
Well,
I can't believe how much room you have.
That's some great feedback. Great feedback.
It's fantastic. I love it. I don't know what I did before. So, and if you happen to be into stamping, you can use it. If you happen to be into scrapbooking, you can use it. One of the wonderful features is these slide out and they slide back in. So if you're a scrapbooker, you can fit 3 full pages on each one of these. You could work up onto a 9-page layout at a time. If you get called away, the kids want something, supper needs to be done, you simply close it back up and nobody knows what you've been doing and it takes up limited space.
Terrific.
It's fantastic.
Terrific.
I love it. And the solid wood surface on here is fantastic. You can do any of the things that you need to do with stamping. If you use the new, clear stamps that come along, you don't have to worry about it. They will firmly and crisply come out on any surface on here. The height of the top one to line up your stamps that you can't see is perfect for getting a proper placement. You can put if you happen to be into cuddlebugging, big shotting, they all fit right on the surface. It's sturdy. It'll suction right on. You can do your stuff and continue working with your projects right underneath. There's no need to get another table, no need to work anywhere else. It fits your tools on top, and one of the wonderful features about it is you don't have to work alone. On this side, you could work with 2 people if you like, or if you don't like to share, all you have to do is simply swing it around, take out the little pegs in the back, and this turns into another work surface on the other side. Up to 4 people can work on this if you choose. It's a fantastic feature, and yet it still slides all back together and goes back into one compact unit.
That's nice. That's nice. So when you're using your tools, you know, I know when I cut things like with an X-Acto or something, I like to stand up and do it. So does the top of the desk work for you as far as standing when you have to use certain tools?
The top of the desk is a really, really good height. It's not too tall, and yet it's not too short. You don't have to bend way over to do something. Like if I had to work at a lower table, it would probably be around here. This, I'm not hurting my back, I'm not injuring anything. I can just lean over and do what I need to do. I can see what I'm doing. A surface to do the eyelets on. It's not going to damage anything, and you're not looking way down below. You're up at the proper height for everything you need to do. It isn't so wide that things are going to get spread out. You have plenty of work surface on here. So I can keep my cutting tool up here, and I can keep my stamp scrubbing tool up here. I can keep a trash container. I can keep any stamps punches that I'm thinking of working on. Still have 2 entire shelves of space to work on. I have never run out of room when I've been using this.
You know, I think that even when we were kind of putting this together, we kind of got a dimension on some of the actual cutting mats, and I believe we do have enough room for the mats, the 12-inch mats, for cutting on there, so you could actually put that on either one of the shelves or on the top.
These are 12 by 12 papers, Bruce. So this is all the way back against the back, and you still have room for when you later add, this is a prototype, and on the one that they're eventually going to sell, am I not correct that you guys are going to have this little groove here to catch those lovely little brads. With being able to continue to work on your paper, it'll just add a nice little moat. You can still scrape off your stuff and still have it, but it's not going to go rolling away, and you will not be wasting time searching the floor for wherever your stuff went.
Yeah, I noticed, you know, when you pulled it out, it's easy to move around and stuff. I'm sure when you're vacuuming and stuff, you probably want to move it around or get it out of the way to make more space for other activities.
I can be honest, when I had the other setup, this part of the carpet hardly ever got vacuumed because I couldn't get underneath there right. It was a problem to move the table. With the stuff on top of it, it got quite heavy, especially being such a broad surface. This slides right out of the way. I can do what I need to do in there, and it slides right back in, not a problem. When I want to go do an activity somewhere else with this, it rolls with me to where I would like it to be. I can sit and do the work I need. When I'm done, I can roll it back to where it is. The casters are heavy duty, and they lock in place if I don't want them to move. I'm on carpet now, so it's not going to roll anywhere, but if I were on a hardwood floor, I could lock these in place, and it isn't going to move until I want it to.
Mm-hmm. Good, good, good.
One of the things, Bruce, that impressed me about this product when you first approached me about taking a look at it was where it comes from, and what made you start to do it is nowadays we all have to be concerned about the environment. We're all concerned about the planet. We're concerned about wasting resources. These were made in Wisconsin from sustainable wood, is what you told me, and I was just, that impressed me. It impressed everybody I talked about. Not one piece of this wood is wasted. You use everything. It's all put together very well, but it's all real, and it's not wasting anything. In fact, it's enhancing the environment because they replace what they take. And we're using local product, which, that's fantastic, you know.
Well, I'm really glad that that's very important to you, because it's important to us.
I just love it, and I hope you keep making it, and I hope you make little products that go with it, because, you know, anything that adds to my stamping experience is a wonderful thing. And I have been, when you asked me to set up the old one, and I set it up, I actually felt kind of bad, because it was like, oh, that's not happy. This, putting it back, made me very happy. It's so user-friendly, so product-friendly, and environmentally friendly. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask of a product that you needed to use for your favorite hobby.